Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Well, welcome once again to Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple's online YouTube Sunday service. This week we are observing our regular family service. One aspect of the service for our in-person service in the temple here, which we are also having, is that it is Graduate Sunday, at which we are honoring our graduates, those who have graduated from whatever schools for this year. So that it isn't really much of a part of our YouTube service, but the theme of learning and studying will be found in the Dharma message today. So welcome again, and we have begun our service with the ringing of the bell, the temple bell, the Kansho. Kansho calls us to awareness, mindfulness, appreciation. After these words, these opening words, we will have the Vandana and Tisarana, praising the Buddha, praising the Buddha's enlightenment, and taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the teacher, the teaching, and the community that is around that teaching, that grows from that teaching. And that's our membership, but really in a larger sense, that's everyone we meet is part of that teaching, part of that community that we are all learning together within and growing and seeing more deeply within ourselves. So following the Vandana and Tisarana, we will chant the Gassho to Amida and then recite the Golden Chain of Love. After that, I will share my Dharma message with you for today, and then we will chant the Metta, loving kindness meditation, followed by the singing of the Nembutsu, and then we will have some closing words. Okay, so thank you very much once again for being here today, and let's begin our service by reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Bhutang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda.
Amida. Trees and grasses and flowers all grow in great compassion. This light shines throughout the world. I Gassho to Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seed sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging. I Gassho to Amida. Springtime brings the happy birds. Their songs all praise Amida. I join them in Nembutsu. I Gassho to Amida. When I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling me. Buddha's voice, my voice are one. I Gassho to Amida. When I'm lonely, I recite Namo Amida Butsu. Then I feel great compassion. I Gassho to Amida. Nembutsu in work and play, every day with Amida, every moment filled with light. I Gassho to Amida. Remember the golden chain, kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I Gassho to Amida. In the clear bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night, I Gassho to Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. This great power guides my life. I Gassho to Amida. Namandabu, 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 Namandabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
Golden Chain of Love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words,
and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Welcome once again, and I'd like to now share some thoughts about the Buddha's teaching with you. Will you please join me with hands together as we recite the Nembutsu? Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, so this week, this time of the year, in our temple we honor those who have graduated usually from high school. In our community, in our Buddhist community. Actually, as we kind of have an aging community here, less and less graduates, more and more people in, let's say, past 60s, 70s, 80s. So we don't have as many graduates as we once had. But anyway, today is Graduate Sunday, and so I thought I should say something about learning. Graduates are, or should be, people who have been busy learning. I'm assuming that the main point of education is still that we should learn something meaningful to make it possible to live our lives in a good way. That may have changed in today's world. I understand, it seems that some people now think that the purpose of going to school is simply to get a good job. And actually, I don't know if that's really the best reason to go to school. It's true that a certain kind of degree from a certain kind of school and the time spent there may or may not have included an actual good education will often lead to a certain kind of job, but whether any of it brings you a good life is another question. Unfortunately, many people find out that all their well-laid plans to obtain a successful career and therefore a happy life do not work out as planned. A happy life is really a difficult thing to achieve. Strangely, happiness has absolutely nothing to do with material success, and thus does not require a degree from Harvard. It does, however, require learning. Actually, it requires a lot of learning. But you know what? to obtain the degree of Doctor of Happiness, you really have to be your own teacher. But that doesn't mean that whatever you think or want is the best thing for you. Even if you are your own teacher, you need to be skeptical about what you hear yourself telling yourself. When you think, what you think or want or are inclined to do is just as likely to be wrong as anything else you hear from anyone else in the world. To be your own teacher means that you first need to become a good student. A good student always questions what he or she is told and never accepts any truth that has not been tested through your own experience. To find what is really true in our lives, we have to look deeply into our own self, into our own living. Nobody, not a single person at any time in history has found true happiness by accepting a ready-made truth that somebody else told you to believe, told that person to believe. Unfortunately, many people are looking for ready-made truths, like a template, a simple one-size-fits-all doctrine that you can accept and forget. But the true answer for you, for me, for each of us, can only be that which is authentically true and real in the depths of your own experiences and reflections. It has to be true, authentically true and real for you specifically, for you alone. When Shakyamuni Buddha lived, that's the historical Buddha, When the historical Buddha lived, he never gave easy answers to life's problems. He always guided those who were listening to him to carefully question their own wisdom and common sense assumptions about things. He especially scolded those who accepted what he said on faith. He told them, "Don't believe something just because I say it. Do not follow teachings until you have tested them through your own experience." The Buddha never asked anybody to accept his teachings based on the fact that he was the Buddha. He always asked them to consider, is this correct? What do you think? He never pulled rank on people, you see. When the Buddha taught, for example, that there is no such thing as a permanent self, that every conceivable aspect of a person is subject to change, subject to impermanence, including our opinions, our personality, and our beliefs, as well as our physical form, he didn't insist that we believe him. Instead, he suggested ways for us to test that theory in the light of our own experience. He carefully explained many types of experiments by which we could test this, and these experiments were actually the first Buddhist practices, what we now call Buddhist meditation. The Buddha never taught by presenting absolute truths to his followers. His teachings were not static or abstract. What he taught had to do with the things that really mattered, such as the question, what is real happiness in life? He would ask his disciples to define happiness, and they would say things like, happiness is having enough food to eat. Then he would point out that relying on such happiness is unwise, since the supply of food is dependent on things you have no control over, such as unpredictable weather, droughts, and so on. Some would answer, happiness comes from having wealth, since a wealthy person can always buy food. Buddha would point out that this too might be unwise, since money is also not reliable, since it is also dependent on things you cannot control, such as the political condition of the country. Also, this means that everyone who is lacking in wealth, everyone who doesn't have wealth, must be unhappy. And it is obvious that many poor people are happy, even more than some rich people. Others said to him, happiness comes from having friends. Buddha agreed that friendship was a good thing, but that having friends was also not something we could be sure of. A friend could die, or we might have to move away. If our happiness depends on having this friend or that friend, we might lose our happiness at any moment. Some disciples answered that happiness comes from the attainment of wisdom. Buddha agreed that the pursuit of wisdom is very important, but how do we know we have attained it? Everyone in their own minds thinks they are wise, but because our minds are full of delusion and selfishness, we unconsciously assume that we are wise when we are not wise. If being happy requires us to be wise, no one could ever be happy, since no one who is the least bit honest with themselves can ever be sure that he or she is wise. By such questioning, the Buddha led his followers to understand that true happiness can never come from external things, from things that we possess one day and may lose the next. Thus, the Buddha's greatest teaching was to instill a questioning mind in his disciples. In this way, they were able to learn for themselves that happiness must be something that is not separate from ourselves, not something that we have only if and when we have something else. We could naturally discover that true happiness is the state of mind of a person who is satisfied whether he is rich or poor, whether he has many or no friends, and accepts that his own wisdom may be nothing but foolishness. The Buddha was a true teacher because he never thought of himself as a teacher. He never commanded people to believe in him or accept his teachings without question. The Buddha never created formal doctrine, never set forth truths that we are expected to accept on their own terms. Shinran Shonin was that way too. In Tanisho, he said that although he himself had experienced awakening through the Nembutsu, others may find a better way for themselves. He never said, "You must do as I say, since I have the only answer." That kind of answer, that kind of teaching, which we can call an abstract truth, is actually always a lie. Shinran never taught like that, but always said, "It's up to you." Everything the Buddha taught was something that we could understand, we can understand in the context of our own unique life experience as individuals and as part of a family, a community, and a society. To learn Buddhism does not come by memorizing doctrines or laws, but through living life itself. But to live life, we must become students, and to become students, we must seek to learn throughout our life. So thank you for listening to me today, and I'd like to extend my congratulations to all of our graduates here at Kahului Hongwanji, and to all graduates who may be watching this video today. And let's now close these thoughts by putting our hands together in Gassho and reciting the name, which is the calling voice of boundless compassion and true wisdom, the voice that calls us to seek true happiness within our own life, just as you are, just as we are. Thank you very much. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Well, thank you very much for joining us today for Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple's online Sunday service. I hope that you enjoyed the service today, and I hope that there is something that you will be able to take away with you that is meaningful and helpful to you. So thank you so much. Announcements will follow in the scrolling text after these words. So let's close our service now by reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.